Jazzcast Pros.
Hello, hello, beautiful souls. It's your girl, Maryann Rivera-Dannert, and welcome to Healing Her Within. Today's episode is incredibly special, not just because I am celebrating my 52nd birthday, but because this episode is number 222. So if you believe in angel numbers and all of that stuff, this episode is going to definitely resonate with you. So this is a divine reminder of alignment, faith, and perfect timing. I don't know about you, but sometimes I have a goal, a trip, something I want to do, something I want to accomplish, and I want it right now. Especially in this society nowadays, it's called the microwave society, where you just want everything instantly. So this number, episode 222, is just about trusting. It's about perfect timing. So I'm here for it. So if you know me, you know that I don't believe in coincidences, only divine appointments. And the number 222 is all about that. It's about divine alignment. It's God's gentle nudge saying, keep trusting, keep believing, everything is coming together exactly as it should. And before I go on, I am going to be using interchangeably the title of God, Source, Universe. So you take what resonates with you, replace it with what works for you. But I just wanted to put that out there. So I'm going to be using God, Universe, Source all together because to me, they're all the same thing. So today, as I reflect on 52 years of lessons, and don't worry, I'm not going to go over all 52 of them. I am leaning into that truth. I'm right where I am meant to be. And so are you. You are also right where you're meant to be. And this conversation, it is no accident. You may be a regular listener. Maybe you stumbled upon me. Maybe you recently learned about me and this is the first episode that you decided to listen to. But it is no accident that you are right here, right now, listening. So let's get to it. Let's start talking about these lessons that I've learned over the years. So over the years, I've learned that alignment doesn't come from forcing things to happen. It comes from faith. It comes from believing, from trusting something outside of yourself. When you stop chasing and you start trusting and you start believing, life begins to flow. So I want to share with you some of the lessons that have anchored me in peace and purpose. So, number one, peace is the new success. 2, healing doesn't mean forgetting. It means reclaiming your power, which is something that I strive to work with all of my clients and everyone that I come across, whether it's through coaching, speaking, through this podcast, through my writing, is to reclaim your power. And that started with me. Boundaries are a form of self-respect. Number 4, not everyone can go where you're going, and that is okay. Because here's the thing, and this is a very hard lesson that I have had to learn over the years. We have our friends, but just like there are seasons, especially depending on where you're at, if you're up north like I am, we have 4 seasons: summer, fall, winter, spring. And sometimes our friendships are like seasons. They will come, they will go. Some of them go away forever. Some of them are meant to be there temporarily while you're going through something, and they will help you get to the next level or help you overcome that thing that you may be struggling with. Sometimes they're there to teach you a lesson. And sometimes they were truly never really meant to be there. and that it's okay. Not everyone is meant to go where you're going. And it could be for a number of reasons. I have had people say to me, "Oh, you've changed." And I heard this great analogy that just made so much sense. Imagine a new mother giving birth, to a baby, and the newborn baby is a couple of hours, old. And then 3, 6, 9 months pass by. Imagine someone coming up to that mother and saying, "Oh, your baby has changed. Time has passed. So shouldn't that baby be changing? Because if that baby doesn't change, then there's definitely something wrong." And it's just like us. If we're not changing, then what are we doing? We all have goals. It doesn't matter how big they are, how small they are, how extravagant they are, how easy they are, how difficult they may be. We all have goals, personal goals, professional goals. We all should be striving to become a better version of ourselves. No matter how better or good you already think you are, we should always be growing because that's what life is all about. And sometimes during that growth period, some people are going to fall off, and that is totally okay. So, this lesson number 4, not everyone can go where you're going, and that's okay, has been one of the toughest lessons that I have learned over the years. Number 5, my voice matters even when it shakes. Number 6, silence is powerful when it's rooted in peace and not fear. One of the things that I have learned over the years is to honor myself when something doesn't feel right, when something doesn't feel right internally, when something doesn't feel right in my thoughts, when I'm feeling a certain way. I used to feel like I always had to be going, 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 doing, and just, answering every text and answering every email and just wanting to be seen. But the thing about it is that I have learned to just pause and take care of me first without explaining to anybody. Sometimes I do get text messages like, "Hey, you've been quiet. Where are you? Why are you not responding? What have I done?" And the truth is that I used to be that person. I used to be that same exact person reaching out to friends like, "Hey, you're quiet. What's going on? Did I do something wrong? I hope that I didn't offend you." And it's like, no, I just need some space. There's nothing going on. I just I'm in a moment of silence. And to be totally transparent and honest with you, I used to feel some type of way like, if we're friends, why aren't we talking about it? And things like that. But as I have grown, as I have matured, I have definitely learned, and I am embracing that number 6, silence is powerful when it's rooted in peace and not fear. So when you're doing it for the right reasons, not because you're trying to shut somebody out or because you're being forced to be silenced, like people are keeping you away from, talking to someone and things like that, it's very different. Number 7, self-love is a daily practice, not a destination. Number 8, I can start over at any age. Number 9, saying no is a complete sentence. I'm pretty sure we have all heard that before. And number 10, God's timing is always divine, even when it feels delayed. I talked about this just a few minutes ago. And sometimes we just want everything right now. But everything always works out the way God, source, universe meant it to happen. And when you pause and when you reflect and you look back, you're like, wait, I remember I wanted this done right away. I wanted to achieve this right away. And if that would have happened, then this would have been the effect. This would have been the effect. You start seeing what the ripple effect would have been if things would have gone your way. But because it went in God's timing, you can see things a little differently. So each of these lessons And again, there's 52 of them, and I just shared 10. Each of these lessons has brought me back into balance, into the 222 energy of harmony between who I was, who I am, and who I am becoming. And maybe for you, this episode, this number 222 is confirmation also, a sign for you to trust where you are, to believe that every delay was protection, not rejection, and that everything that you have prayed for, that you have wished for, is already here. It's already aligning behind the scenes. You just have to continue to trust and to believe that it is going to happen. Take a deep breath and let your heart hear this. You, my friend, are not behind. You are in divine alignment. You are exactly where you are supposed to be. So let's talk about the woman that I am becoming. At 52, and I cannot believe I'm saying 52, I am walking in a season of becoming, not striving. And as I look forward to 2026, I feel this deep knowing that I am stepping into my flow. 222 reminds me to stay patient, to stay peaceful and prayerful, to let God lead while I walk in faith, to let the universe align the stars as it may, to stop overthinking and start allowing. In this new chapter, I am showing up anchored in my truth. I am leading with both softness and strength. I am creating from peace and not pressure. I am leaning back into my why I became a coach, why I became a speaker, why I became an author, why I started this podcast. I am leaning into that and I am trusting how that is going to come forward. I am aligning with people and opportunities that feel like purpose and not performance. This one is really big for me. I am aligning with people and opportunities that feel like purpose and not performance. I recently had a conversation with my husband and with my kids actually that I'm going to start shifting, not necessarily my circle because my inner circle is going to stay the same until I feel that maybe there's a shift that needs to happen there also. But in some of the groups that I am in, some of the communities that I'm in, I honestly feel that I have invested thousands and thousands of dollars and I'm not truly growing. And that is no shade to those people. That's no shade to the leaders of the communities and the groups and things like that. I just feel that I am moving in a different direction and their way of doing things, their way of showing up necessarily does not align with who I am becoming, who I am stepping into, which is the higher version of myself. I have started to trust this process of leaning into the higher version of myself. And when I have a thought, when I have a gut feeling, I lean into her and I ask her, what decision are we making? What are we doing? Why am I feeling? And I also ask, like, why am I feeling this way? And she reminds me that who you are becoming has a certain set of standards, has a certain set of beliefs, shows up a certain way, and I have to shift the group of people that I am surrounding myself with because they're not in alignment with who I am becoming. So I'm learning to trust that. And when I see it happen, when I see it manifest, it is so beautiful. And I get excited because I know that it is truly working and that I am, again, in alignment. And I know that I have said that word a few times. And it's interesting because that wasn't my word for 2025, but who knows? Maybe it will be my word for 2026. We shall see. But I am moving and changing the people and opportunities that feel like purpose and not performance, because 222 is confirmation that my prayers, my growth, my obedience have not been in vain. And if you are listening, this is also your confirmation. This is your confirmation that you're entering into a new season where what you have been planting will finally come to fruition. This next version of you, this next version of me, walks differently, shows up differently. We don't chase. We don't doubt. We move in divine timing, not in human deadlines. So I want to invite you to something very special. So here's what I want you to reflect on. I want you to take a moment and ask yourself, where am I being called to trust God, Source, the universe more deeply? Again, where am I being called to trust God, Source, the universe more deeply? Next question for you to reflect on. What am I being asked to release to make room for alignment? And this can be a hard one sometimes. What am I being asked to release to make room for alignment? It could be people, it could be places, or it could be things. It could even be parts of your business that you are in. Sometimes we talk about comparison, like we shouldn't compare ourselves to people and things like that. But the reality is we're humans. And to some degree, we end up comparing ourselves. Again, not that we are trying to be exactly like someone or we want exactly what they're doing or what they have, but we see them doing certain things and we're like, oh, we can do this. I can do this. That looks easy. Or maybe because you have done something in the past, you feel that you need to make it a part of your business. So here's two truths for me that not many people know. Number one, last year in 2024, I started a magazine, which was called Fabulousness Unleashed. I had this big, big vision for this magazine. And I put out an issue for 12 months, for one full year. And as I started getting closer to month number 12, I started to realize that I didn't want to do it anymore. Not that it wasn't successful, because there were several people that had subscribed to either annually or have bought like a quarter. So like 3 months at a time, things like that. There were a lot of people who invested by not just purchasing the magazine, but by being sponsors or by advertising in the magazine. People who also contributed articles to the magazine. So it was very successful, but I wasn't passionate about it. I didn't feel joy when it was time to sit down and create the magazine for the following month. I actually saw it more of a burden and something that was draining me versus something that excited me and brought me joy. So I decided that I was going to stop it. Not pause, I was going to stop it. A few months had passed and I was like, well, maybe I can shift and do something a little different. I put it out there and some people were interested, but I didn't get the feedback that I was honestly hoping for. So I just took that as, okay, well, this is just not meant to be. And also, I know that I had made the right decision by just not doing it, pursuing it, because I did not talk to God, Source, Universe, about if this is something that I should pick back up. So I decided to stop it. And then also, number two, as you all know, I have co-authored over 20 different anthologies, different books. I have my own books that I have been a visionary for, anthology projects. I am finishing my own solo book, which By the time you hear this episode, please make sure that you go to the show notes and pre-order a copy of my new book that's coming out tomorrow on my birthday, November 15th. I thought that I could become a publisher and publish books for other people. So I had 3 clients. The first one was a breeze. It was great. From start to finish, it was smooth. The second one, well, let's just say that this is when I started thinking, this is not for me. And the third one was definitely, as the saying goes, the straw that broke the camel's back. Absolutely freaking not. So publishing is something that I am not doing. I'm not talking about it. This is it. I'm not, zip. Actually, we're moving on to the next thing. So anyways, back to the question for you to ask yourself. What are you being asked to release so you can make room for alignment? And I just gave you 2 examples that were personal to me. And then next, what version of you is finally ready to rise? And if 222 has found you, again, it's not by chance. It's not a coincidence. It's an angelic whisper saying, stay the course, keep the faith. The miracle is unfolding. And if you like to journey deeper, I have created something amazing for you to help you walk alongside this episode, 52 and Becoming, a reflective journal, which is a companion to this episode 222 of the Healing Her Within podcast. It's a sacred space to honor you and your lessons and create your vision for the new year, 2026, in full alignment with who you are becoming. So make sure that you grab the link in the show notes, and also make sure that you pre-order a copy of my new book that's coming out. And as I celebrate my 52nd birthday and this divine 222 episode, I am reminded that everything is aligning up beautifully. Not because of what I've done, but because of who I've allowed myself to become. So to every listener, may 222 remind you that peace, purpose, and partnership are already yours. You're not waiting on alignment. You are alignment. So I'm sending you much love, sunshine, and salt air from Mexico as I sit on the beach in awe of how far God has brought me. Until next time, stay rooted, stay empowered, stay awakened, and liberated. Happy birthday to me, Maryann Rivera-Dannert, and this is Healing Her Within.